Welcome to the 2020 Virtual Candidate Forum. Our desire is to create informed voters by giving the Plant City community an opportunity to meet every candidate on their ballot.
At the Greater Plant City Chamber of Commerce, we are a connector and convener in the community of current and rising leaders. When we all work together, we are Plant City Strong.
This event would not be possible without community involvement. We would like to thank Tampa Electric, Fried Egg Productions, South Florida Baptist Hospital, the Hillsborough County Farm Bureau, and the many other generous supporters.
Without further ado, let's hear from this candidate.
Hello, my name is Chuck Gore. I'm with Stahl & Associates Insurance, and I'm a member of the Greater Plant City Chamber of Commerce. I have the pleasure of serving on the Government Affairs Committee and on the Board of Directors. Our committee has prepared a few questions for every candidate on the ballot running for a position that will represent residents of the Plant City community. Today, I have here with me Monique Scott, who is running for County Court Judge Group 7. If you'd like to give a quick introduction of yourself, and then we'll start the questions from there.
Great. Well, thank you for having me and holding this forum. It's greatly important to allow the community to have access to learn more about the candidates. My name is Monique Scott, and I am running for Hillsborough County Court Judge, Group 7, as you said. And I am running because for the past 6 years, I have served as a prosecutor here in Hillsborough County at the State Attorney's Office. And for the past 6 years, I have been in the courtroom every single day. And with that, I have seen the need to have a judiciary that is competent, experienced, qualified, judges who show up, follow the law, have the proper temperament, are well-rounded, knowledgeable, and also the need to have access to the courts, courts that are objective, efficient, civil, and fair. With my background as a former police officer with the Tampa Police Department, a former public school teacher for 5 years and teaching both elementary and middle school, and of course, a former prosecutor, I have all of those qualities to bring to the bench, and I believe that I am the candidate that will best serve our community in making sure that we bring forward all of those needs to the judiciary, to the courts, and I am looking forward to continue my career, lifelong experience in serving the community and continue serving the community in this capacity.
Very good. You kind of touched on the second question here is why are you specifically running for judge?
Okay, so I actually answered that question, and I will elaborate a little bit further. As I said, for the past 6 years, I've been working in the courtroom every single day as a prosecutor. I have worked in 6 different specialty prosecution units. I started off in county misdemeanor court, where we heard over misdemeanor crimes, misdemeanor civil, traffic issues as well. I then got promoted to the Domestic Violence County Division. From there, I was further promoted to the Drug Court and Violation of Probation Division. From there, I was promoted to Felony Circuit, and lastly, I finished off my career in the Economic Crimes. So combined, for the past 6 years, being in the courtroom, again, I was able to appear in front of all of the county and circuit felony judges. And again, I was able to see what needs were needed to improve the judiciary and what things were working, what things were not working, what could be improved upon. And as a candidate, and why I'm running is because I want to bring those experiences, those perspectives, and meet those needs of our community. I have over 100 bench trials experience and over 60 first chair jury trials. So there is no other candidate that has that amount of trial experience of being in the courtroom day in and day out. So I believe that for that reason, I am the best candidate in this election. And, that is, additionally, I also think that my community involvement also sets me apart. I am extremely involved within the community. I have been since the age of 15. I started out as a 15-year-old in Kiwanis. From there, I further committed to the community by serving on the Sheriff's Hispanic Advisory Council, working as a liaison between the Sheriff's Office and the Hispanic community. Additionally, I am on the Epilepsy Service Foundation board, the Hillsborough Association of Women Lawyers. I am a volunteer with my family, my husband and my son, with Metropolitan Ministries and the Humane Society, and many other nonprofits and organizations that really work to get involved and immersed within the community and serve the community. So a long roundabout way of just saying that I am the candidate who has a true, sincere pulse of what this community needs from a judicial candidate.
Very good. Kind of expand on on that. Where do you think specifically the judicial system can improve?
Okay, that's a great question. From my experience and from what I've seen in the past 6 years as a prosecutor, additionally my experience in the classrooms as a teacher for 5 years, and my experience as a police officer, I do bring a unique perspective in that I have been in the streets, I have been in the classrooms, I have been in the courtrooms. And the best way that I can see the judiciary to improve is access to the courts, okay? Now, on the criminal side, every individual, if you are accused of a crime, is entitled to representation. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you, the public defender's office. However, the same is not true if it's a civil matter. Okay, so where this hits home and why it matters to all of us as a community is that most of us interact with the courts, whether we realize it or not, in some capacity. So whether it's a speeding ticket, whether it's a landlord-tenant issue, whether it's a car accident, a slip and fall, we are somehow interacting with the law enforcement or the judiciary, and not everybody has equal access or access entirely to the court system. I would also say that the efficiency in running a docket, for example, I have been in front of judges who really know how to manage and run that docket in an efficient manner. The same is true where I've been in front of judges who lag a little bit and really could benefit, and they do eventually get there. It just takes a little bit longer because they don't have that courtroom experience. So I think those two areas, accessibility to the courts and efficiency, are two areas that I think we could improve upon. And with my experience, I know that I will work on addressing those issues.
Very good. What would you consider your greatest accomplishment of your legal career?
By far, my thing I am most proud of, and I will get goosebumps talking about this every time, is my work in the County Court Domestic Violence unit. I was there for approximately 9 months and before I was promoted to felony. And that work was some of the hardest work I had ever done as a prosecutor, as a human being, as an attorney. And it provided me the opportunity to work with victims. Sometimes the victims, they actually didn't want the help. They weren't ready for the help yet. They weren't ready to see themselves as a victim. And a lot of times those victims of domestic violence is because they are dependent on their abuser for financial reasons, because there's children involved, there's pets involved, a whole number of reasons. And so sometimes it does take a domestic violence victim several times to be unfortunately abused before they're ready for that help. But it was an amazing, life-changing experience to provide that help and be the person to bring justice to those victims, and including the witnesses. Sometimes they were children of the family. I remember one time I had a child witness, obviously a mother and a father, and I had to have that child witness testify against her father. And it was rough because in addition to that, I forgot to mention, I myself am a survivor of domestic violence. My biological father, who I've terminated my relationship the day I turned 18, was mentally, verbally, physically abusive. My mother was able to get out of that relationship when she divorced him, but unfortunately I was a child who had to continue seeing this individual. So on a personal level, I felt, a true, sincere sense of ability to help those individuals. But then also on a professional level, it's something I'm really proud of because I was really able to bring justice to those victims. And I will say to those who were accused and proven guilty of domestic violence, we were able to get them help, because most times what we see in domestic violence is it's a revolving pattern of abuse, where they grow up in a domestically violent household and they in turn learn those habits and then unfortunately execute those habits on the people that they love the most. So it was nice to also help those individuals get anger management, alcohol counseling, mental health counseling as well. And it's something that to this day I continue to stay involved with. When I got promoted to felony, I continued prosecuting the domestic violent crimes as well. So I am most proud in helping those victims of domestic violence, and I will continue to do so as a judge.
Very good. Drilling down on that a little bit more, we know that attorneys sometimes tell stories of cases that changed them. Can you tell us a story of a case that changed you and believe has made you better prepared to be for your judgeship?
Sure. I will again talk about the domestic violence cases because those were the ones that really stuck with me. I had one case where it started off as a felony battery, strangulation of the victim, and it actually ended up being downgraded from a felony to misdemeanor because we were having some issues with the victim's testimony that conflicted with the police report to what she actually stated in depositions. The reason why it sticks with me is because I worked that case like no other. The victim was extremely cooperative. She wanted the help, which sometimes is rare. And there was a child involved. And it sticks with me because the first time we took it to trial, we got a mistrial. So the jury, or a hung jury trial, excuse me. The jury could not give a decision. So after a very long time preparing and getting ready for trial and going through the trial process, we were left without a verdict. So we took it again to a second trial. And that time we actually got another hung jury. So that's twice. The third time I finally got the guilty verdict. And that was very rewarding because most people would have probably given up at that point. But we continued forward and we got the verdict and we got justice. Okay.
Well, we're into our final 3 minutes here. So just kind of in conclusion, is there anything else that you would really like for us to know about you and why people should vote for you?
Yeah, I think it's important to stress that, I am running for kind of 3 important reasons. One, my unique perspective as far as my career has gone, being in the classrooms as a teacher, being in the courtrooms as a prosecutor, being a police officer with the Tampa Police Department. Additionally, I'm also running because I have been through quite a bit of adversity, being a domestic violence survivor with my biological father, being first generation American. I am a Tampa native, but my parents came from Colombia, South America. I'm also a person with epilepsy, so I've had to overcome quite a bit of adversity to get to where I'm at today. And I think that's true for the majority of the population. And I think it's important that we have a judiciary who understands what it is to go through adversity, to really have the empathy and the humanity in serving the community. And then lastly, I'm running because I have the support of many great friends and family. My committee is 60 plus strong, ranging in small business owners, realtors, brokers, yes, attorneys, first responders, police officers, firemen, and because they see the need to have a judiciary, as I said, that is competent, experienced, qualified, can follow the law, is objective, civil, and fair.
Very good. Well, we actually have made it right to the end of our 15 minutes here, so thank you so very much. We appreciate it, and good luck at the polls.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, thank you.